The skyscraper race is the most striking construction trend of the beginning of the third millennium. The construction giants of the world have gone crazy racing to see who can build the tallest building. But what about the longest residential buildings? Yes, there are residential buildings in the world in which neighbors visit each other not by elevator but by car. Surprisingly, they were built not in the 21st century when there was a fashion for gigantism on Earth, but in the past. Among them is the Corviale house in Rome, 1 kilometer long. The project of this building was created in 1972 by the architect Mario Fiorentino, who was faced with the task of unloading the center of Rome. Although the Karl Marx Hofhaus in Vienna is not the longest in the world, 1.1 kilometers, it holds the record among buildings with continuous construction. Others form an architectural ensemble of several buildings, but not this one. Architect Carl N. designed it in 1927. It has 1,400 apartments and 98 entrances, and to get from the first to the last, you will have to travel 4 stops by public transport. The 2 longest houses in the world are in Russia and Ukraine. This is a residential building 1.49 kilometers long in Murmansk, Russia, and a 9-story building in the Ukrainian Lutsk Regional Center. Residents of this house in Lutsk call it the Great Wall of China, since 1,750 meters is only the net length of the building. And if you calculate the length with all the outbuildings, you get a little more than 2,800 meters. It's a world record. With this state of affairs, certainly, world record holders in the construction of skyscrapers cannot tolerate it. In January 2021, Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia unveiled an ambitious plan to build an apartment building that is 120 kilometers or 75 miles long. What kind of building will it be and where can it be built? Find out about it in today's video. On October 24, 2017, on the first day of the Future Investment Initiative International Investment Forum in Riyadh, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia presented the NEOM project. A new land for a new way of life is the slogan of this special investment zone. It is planned to be built by 2025 at the junction of Saudi Arabia's borders with Egypt and Jordan. The name NEOM is a combination of neo, new, and the letter M, which is an abbreviation of the Arabic word mustaqbal, or future. The mega project is designed to generate the most promising areas into one unique complex and create a qualitatively new format for integrating the key countries of the Arab world. A new generation smart city, conceived as an innovation hub, will become a global center for the intersection of civilizations. It will focus on 9 specialized investment sectors: energy and water, mobility, biotechnology, food, technological and digital sciences, advanced medical equipment, media, and entertainment based on responsibility and development. NEOM will mark the deliverance of the Saudi economy from dependence on oil. It is in this city of the future that they plan to build the longest building in the world, which has already been named Mirror Line. According to unofficial information, the mega structure was designed by the American studio Morphosis. Various functions of an unusual house will be combined into a system described by the creators of the city as the urbanism of weightlessness. Mirror Line will consist of 2 buildings with a height of 488 meters. For comparison, the Empire State Building is 381 meters high. The buildings, only 200 meters wide, will be run parallel to each other for 75 miles from the Gulf of Aqaba over a mountain range and then along the coast to a desert aeropolis. The megastructure will be so long that it will be placed on special pillars, taking into account the curvature of the Earth. The visualized project shows parks located between 2 linear blocks, connected by several bridges and topped with a large amount of green space. The Mirror Line horizontal skyscraper will be clad entirely in mirrored facades, giving the building a unique appearance. The transportation system that runs the entire length of the megastructure is designed to connect both ends in 20 minutes. The high-voltage train line will pass under the building, and both parts of the Mirror Line will be connected by footpaths. The structure, designed as a sustainable alternative to traditional cities, will be powered entirely by renewable energy resources. It provides a pier for ships and a sports stadium at an altitude of 304 meters. Vegetables and fruits for millions of inhabitants will be grown using vertical farming, which is integrated into the walls of mirrored buildings. In order to feed people, crops will be autonomously harvested, packaged, and moved to community canteens and co-living, i.e. communal kitchens. Residents will be able to subscribe for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Mirror Line is expected to cost up to $1 trillion and will house about 5 million people when completed. Even though Prince Mohammed bin Salman wants the building to be ready by 2030, the construction timeline is still being discussed by experts. It would seem that such a large-scale project should have attracted investors from all over the world. Nevertheless, the investment climate around NEOM remains, so to say, fairly cool after a serious incident that outraged the world community. On October 2, 2018, Turkish intelligence agencies blamed colleagues from the SA for the death of opposition journalist Jamal Khashoggi. On February 26, 2021, U.S. intelligence published a report according to which the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, personally approved the murder of a journalist. In July 2022, U.S. President Joe Biden visited Saudi Arabia for the first time to meet with Crown Prince Mohammed. The U.S. resident held him responsible for the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Although after long consultations, the Biden administration decided not to impose sanctions against the Crown Prince. His reputation in business circles was pretty shaken. Raising significant funds for the construction of the Mirror Line is still difficult, as many Western countries and companies are boycotting the kingdom due to human rights violations. Ecologists oppose construction. They say that the size and length of the Mirror Line will disrupt migratory birds' moving patterns, and the building's mirrored glazing could further confuse them. An initial assessment of the project's implementation conducted in January 2021 indicated that construction should be carried out in phases and could take 50 years. NEOM staff expressed concern in the paper that people may avoid living in high-rise buildings in the wake of the pandemic, and that the sheer size of the structure will change the dynamics of groundwater flow in desert wadis. And with water, as you know, there are serious problems in the kingdom. The Mirror Line passes through the nearly untouched northwest corner of Saudi Arabia, so access to the water needed to produce concrete is limited. What is more, a big problem for a structure consisting of two tall buildings located parallel to each other is the shadow created. A lack of sunlight can be detrimental to the health of residents. Can these problems interfere with the project? Not all planned constructions in Saudi Arabia are being completed. For instance, during the latest oil boom, the kingdom planned to build the world's tallest skyscraper, but the project was shelved. According to the Wall Street Journal, NEOM has already revised its master plans to deal with an exodus of expatriate workers frustrated by the pace of construction, as well as management climate. Thus, at the moment, the success of the construction of the longest building in the world seems vague. But if it can be implemented, then it will be one of the largest projects in the history of mankind, which can be equated with the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. Prince Mohammed, when he first introduced his idea of the Mirror Line, called it an evolution of human achievement, akin to the discovery of penicillin and the landing on the moon. He called it a way to save lives lost due to pollution and traffic accidents. The line is a project representing a civilizational revolution that puts people first, Saudi Arabia's ruler said.